laying out all of these 187 minutes makes him look horrific. It really does, and it's for everybody to see. And the president's inaction and the vice president's action, getting on the phone, is very telling. But critics of this committee will always come back to, why not allow cross-examination? Why not have another side that has a defense of the target that you're going after? At the very moment that all of this is going down, the next day, in reaction to everything that happened, that he didn't want to say and admit that the election was over. He doesn't want to say or admit that now on the stump. And
he stole and says the election was stolen.
And so, in a way, that's something everybody knows, right? But to hear it and to see it in that chronological order can be very powerful. I don't know, Howie, how much it moves the needle with Republicans. I think it may move for moderate Republicans and independents, and that may be why you're seeing some of these polls with Republicans looking for an alternative in 2024.
Bret Baier talking about potential reality seeping into many Republicans' heads, especially if they're hearing him say this on Fox News, which might be the only source that many of them listen to. This is a Rupert Murdoch company, as everyone knows, but Fox isn't the only one, and I guess Bret Baier isn't the only one that's pointing out these obvious realities that we're seeing unfold in front of the January 6th committee. There's other publications as well, because Rupert Murdoch also owns the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal. Here's a couple headlines that they've put out recently. Trump's silence on January 6th is damning. Woo. Wow. Also, the president who stood still on January 6th. It also says, even as the riot raged at the Capitol, Trump wouldn't tell his supporters to stop. Let's go more details. Both the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post published this harsh criticism of the former president in the past few days, including utterly failed and unfit for office, respectively, following damning evidence put forth on Thursday night by the House Select Committee about Trump's actions or lack thereof during those fateful 187 minutes while the Capitol riots unfolded. Wall Street Journal editorial board published a piece titled "The President Who Stood Still on January 6th," and the lead of which read, "No matter your views on the January 6th special committee, the fact is, laying out in front of hearings are sobering. The most horrifying to date came Thursday in a hearing on President Trump's conduct as the riot raged as he sat watching TV, posting inflammatory tweets and refusing to send help." So New York Post is the more populist version of these two. It also hit out that Trump on Friday in a similar gerrymand that concluded with, "It's up to the Justice Department to decide if this is a crime. But as a matter of principle, as a matter of character, Trump has proven himself unworthy to be this country's chief executive again." Well, this is crazy, Jessica. I don't know if there's a flash in the pan for a second for what they may be responding to, what they're seeing on air, and then maybe we'll move along and continue to go back to what we've been doing before. Or if this is just, listen, we have to detach, pull away, and stop supporting this guy, because obviously this part of the media was a big crutch for him to propel him to the positions that he got to.
Yeah, insane that the wavering feelings of a billionaire can determine so much of what American conservative media is saying. That's just scary. That's so much power for one person to have, that suddenly, they're skeptical of Trump. And now this, I think, will move the needle among moderates and Fox News viewers, because so many people who watch Fox News really take it as law. Like, this is what I believe now. I take these views as my own. So many people are just regurgitating what they hear on Fox News as their political opinions, which is terrifying. But I don't think billionaires act outside of their self-interest, especially Rupert Murdoch. And his self-interest here is, seeing what's going on with the insurrection, what's coming out about, what Donald Trump did during the 187 hours in the committee hearing that we just saw. I think he's realizing that if he supports candidates like Donald Trump, we could have extreme civil unrest in our country, that Donald Trump would likely do this again. And guess what? You cannot enjoy the luxuries of being a billionaire and being wealthy in America if there's, a civil war, if there's a coup. And so I think it's self-interested of Rupert Murdoch, but I do think what Bret Baier said is good, right? It's good that they're moving away from Donald Trump and people like Donald Trump. And the point about cross-examination is just weird, that we need to hear the other side. But all of the witnesses that we heard are Republicans. Like the biggest witnesses were Republicans. And as Bret Baier said on that show, these are people who worked for Donald Trump and wanted to see his success. And so that's damning, even without showing the other side as if it were a criminal court.
The other side has been talking for 2 years and going to court. They've been showing us their other side. Their other side sucks. It has no information, it has no evidence. It's just them bloviating and trying to protect Donald Trump. Let's keep it real.